Hi, my name is David, and I'm going to walk you through how I solved the CSWA practice problem 10.6. So for this problem, I focused on the top view, creating this shape first. So let's go over to the top plane and get started. Create a circle with diameter 16. Make sure that the spacing between the inner and outer is 10. And alright, so let's create some center lines. One going vertically, one that's going to be at 30 degrees to the vertical, from the vertical, and then a horizontal one as well. We can enter the line tool, create some lines from circle to circle, and then we'll create these lines coming off to the right and back to the circle. Okay, and actually let's go ahead and set up this 30-degree relation or angle right here. So this is 30 degrees. And we want these two lines to be parallel and symmetric about this center line. So let's click on one, control click and click, make parallel, make symmetric. Let's do the same with these guys. Click, hold down control, and then click, click, make parallel, make symmetric. Okay, let's start setting these dimensions. We've got this distance is 2 millimeters. This vertical distance is 16 millimeters. And then from the center of the circles out to the right side, that's going to be 96. Let me show that to you in the diagram. So from the center of the circles to the right side of the solid is going to be 96. Okay, so all we have to do now is a little bit of trimming. We'll trim, 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 and we've got the top view shape that we want. So now we can extrude. We want to extrude 90. I'll show that to you in a second. And we want to reverse the direction. So that's what we have so far. So the 90 is coming from top of the shape to the bottom of the shape. That's the 90. And now we can focus on this contour, making this contour here. And if we can make this closed contour, then we can do an extruded cut with flip side checked off. So it'll make sure to cut everything outside of that closed contour. That's going to be our strategy here. So let's work in this front plane. And I'm going to focus on the top part first. There's not too much going on the top, so let's get that all fully defined. There we go. So just this line, this line. The interesting thing here is that there's one fillet. I'll show it to you here. There's a fillet with radius 8. And that's the only fillet that has radius 8. So I'm going to add that to the sketch. A lot of times I like to do fillets in 3D. But I think in this particular case, it's probably better to do it in the sketch. So let's add that fillet in there. It's got radius 8. Okay, great. And the angle between these two lines should be 20. And now there's another dimension, which is this 36. So the fillet here that we created is an arc that has a center. And just by looking at this picture and looking around to see how this circle should be located, pretty much the only place that it could be located is at the center of that fillet arc, so that it's concentric with that fillet arc. Otherwise, this circle would just be floating around because while there are some dimensions that help to lock it down, this 57, that's not enough to really lock down exactly where the circle is. So you need that extra assumption that the center of this circle is the same thing as the center of the arc. It's coincident to the center of the arc. So that means that this 36 horizontal distance is going from the origin to either the center of the fillet or the center of the circle, because they're both the same thing. So now that we have the fillet, we can make that horizontal distance from the origin to the center of the fillet, we can make that 36. And that fully defines the geometry that we've created so far. And as long as we've been talking about all this, let's make sure we have this circle, which has a diameter of 7. That's going to be concentric to the center, concentric to that arc. Okay, let's continue on. We'll create a little line that goes down here. Oops, I think I just accidentally set up a coincident relation. Let me undo, create that line again. Okay, I want it to be coincident to this edge, but not to this point over here. Okay, and then I'm going to create a line here, out and in to make an arc. So some kind of arc, and then go tangent off of that arc. And this line segment right here, we're definitely going to need. Oops, I just turned into an arc. All right, I'll exit the line tool, re-enter it again. So let's come off perpendicular to that, and that'll be good for now. We'll finish off that other arc on the right side later. So this line here is hard to see from the picture. It's hard to tell if the arc goes all the way into this line or not, but it turns out you're going to need that in order to, number one, create the angle between this line and this line. Though technically you could create the angle from a line that's tangent, like a construction line that you make that's tangent to this arc, but it's going to make sure that you're able to fully define the geometry by having this line here. So not totally obvious. It's kind of an assumption that you have to make, but when you get stuck, you realize you have to put a line there. Okay, so let's put some more dimensions here. This is 20. The arc has a radius of 48. And the distance, the horizontal distance between this arc center and the origin should be 14. That's coming right here. So from the origin to the center of that arc, the center of that arc, horizontal distance there is 14. On the bottom here, that distance should be 16. So let's set that dimension, not the horizontal, but the actual length of that. I can right click to lock the dimension, and then I can center this a little bit better. So click, left click, and then 16. Okay, fully defined, looking good. So all we have to do is create a 3-point arc from here to here. And I've got auto dimensioning on, so I'm just going to type in 135, hit enter, and there we go. Now there are some more fillets. There are radius 3 fillets here and these corners here. But if we make those fillets now in the 2D sketch, it's going to mess up the shape. It's going to mess it up because there's this cylinder here. And when we make those fillets, it's going to cut away the cylinder in a way that doesn't look very nice. So we're not going to make those fillets now. We'll save those fillets for later when we can use the 3D fillets and tangent propagation and all of that stuff. So, all right, so we're going to then make our extruded cut. We're going to cut in both directions through all, and we're going to flip the side to cut so that we're cutting outside of that contour. And that'll also make sure that we cut away this little circle right here. Okay, so looking pretty good. Now, one thing I'm going to do, usually I don't do fillets too early, but I'm going to do this anyway. I'm going to add these fillets in before I forget. These are 8mm fillets here and then right here. Oops, I accidentally selected the face. That one right there. I think I selected the wrong thing again. Okay, let me just go over here and select that guy. Okay. So add those fillets in. And you know, while we're at it, let's go ahead and just add the rest of those fillets in too, the 3mm fillets. The two cuts that are remaining, the cut on the bottom that goes through all, and then this mid-plane cut that we're going to do, those two don't really have any fillets going on, except for maybe this one might have a couple of fillets, but we can just add those in manually. But let's go ahead and get these other fillets going. So let's get the bottom ones and going around here and going around the top here, here and here and here and here, here. Make sure everything's going on here. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Oops, except we missed one right there. It almost escaped. Okay. So now we've got our 3mm fillets. Let's take the bottom face here, edit the sketch. We're going to convert entities to bring this to the forefront. Click on this and make it for construction. This way we're going to be able to locate the center of this square. And that's going to be used to center our circle. So let me make another construction line from the midpoint of one of these to midpoint up here. And let me just make sure I got the midpoints. This one doesn't seem to have locked on, so I'll drag it out and back in. Okay, so that's midpoint, midpoint. Okay, and I'm going to create a circle right here at this midpoint with diameter 8. And then I can make the cut. So through all and both is fine. It's hard to tell that this cut is perpendicular to this face, but really there's not much else to indicate how that cut is made. If you look at this cut, we know the diameter is 8, but it's hard to tell if this section right here, this section AA, if that section is parallel or perpendicular to this face. It kind of doesn't really look very perpendicular, but what else can we do, really? So here it looks a little bit more perpendicular. Anyway, so we've cut this tube. So now let's focus on this cut right here. And the way we're going to do this is draw these lines first, make them fully defined, and then draw some extra geometry outside to close the loop. Okay, so we're going to work in this plane and start creating, let's see, from somewhere around here, we'll go down, over, and then perpendicular up to this edge here. I think I didn't quite get the perpendicular relation that I wanted, so I'm going to force it. There we go. Okay, and we know that the distance from the origin horizontally to this vertical line should be 26. And we also know that this length should be 18. And one more thing is that this line should be parallel to this line here, this edge. That's not totally obvious, but we want that to happen. So the only thing left is that we can move this line in and out like this. So there's a dimension to lock that into place, which is this 57, but we need that to be relative to the center of the circle. And when I mouse over this circle, this edge, it doesn't wake up the center like it does sometimes. So I'm just going to click on the circle, convert entities, click on the circle again for construction only, and now we have access to that center. So from the center to this line is 57. Okay, and we do have those fillets of radius 3, so I'm just going to build these in at this point. Let me switch over to the fillet tool, add those fillets with radius 3 here and here, so we don't forget about them. We could have done those in 3D at the end, but that's fine too. So we're fully defined. Let's add a little bit of extra geometry going up here and over to here. This part doesn't have to be fully defined as long as we cover everything that we need to cut out. So then we'll make the extruded cut. We're going to use a midplane, and it's going to be 10. Okay, there we go. Now we've cut out this part. Okay, so everything's looking pretty good. Let's check to see what we've got. 53246, it would round to 53246. 53246 cubic millimeters. Okay, we got the answer. Excellent. Well, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you found it helpful, and take care and keep studying.